take it. How are you? It's Destination Newry, the morning programme. Is Peter Maxwell of the Newry and Portadown branch of the Inland Waterways Association of Ireland. And a grand prize, shimmering. Indeed. A porthole prize. Yes. Peter, explain, do.
Well, we're very proud of this. It's the community contribution to tourism, and it's a Clean Coast programme. It used to be called Tidy Northern Ireland.
Oh, yes.
But this one's sponsored by the Northern Irish Tourist Board. And so we got this for our contribution in the cycle safaris along the towpath.
Wow.
And it's Northern Ireland Tourist Board, so it's across the whole country. It's not a local thing. And the photograph we have here.
Do we see this photograph now? Is it on screen?
Yeah.
It is now.
There's John Craven handing it over to Bruce Crawford.
He was news round, wasn't he?
Something like, obviously not.
And
Blue Peter at one time, possibly?
Blue Peter.
I can't remember
yes,
now.
It was, of course.
It's so long ago, Rowan.
Well, you look a happy bunch of people.
Yes.
And, yes. But this is a recognition of a commitment to hard work.
Oh, yes.
As a group.
Oh, yes.
Because you don't do the things you do in the canal without hard work.
Oh, no. Now, this is one thing. I'm totally not involved in this cycle safaris. I left that up to other people to organise and run and everything.
But I see a certain part of you there, a person who would know you very well.
A close friend of mine.
Three in from the right, there's Geraldine, God bless her.
We have 4 people trained up to be cycle leaders. And that's Bruce there holding the plaque along with John.
Yes.
Geraldine holding the certificate, and Tom at the right-hand side.
And we've had Tom in.
That's right. And then there's Richard from Portadown, who unfortunately couldn't make it that day.
Who's the lady in the black hair on the left? I don't know.
Tidy Northern Ireland.
Oh, she's a person of corporate responsibilities.
Yes. I can't remember her name.
But you know, none of this you do for prizes. You do it because you're driven from a signal in your deep heart's core that this is the right thing to do.
Well, the whole purpose of the safaris is to bring the canal to more people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had over 60 people out this summer on the cycling.
Well, that's 60 fans.
Well, this is it.
60 committees to it.
Yes, but these aren't our members. These are just members of the public.
But that's good.
And they're fully book up within days of us announcing another one. It's fully booked. We get out there, discuss the canal. We stop at the locks, tell them a bit about the history, a bit about the stories, a bit about the geology of the stones used. Now we're doing that. And bridges, why a bridge has a certain name, and all that type of thing. So
it's social history as well.
Yes, but it's also telling the people that track beside you that's full of grass and stuff is actually a canal.
Yes.
Was the oldest canal in the United Kingdom and Ireland.
But you have done. I've seen it. You know, I'm now full of joy with this. Well, I always have been, as you know, but I never thought I would see the day that there would be 4 miles of water possible for rowing in, canoeing in, or punting in.
Yes.
That's great.
It was marvellous, that. Now, that was only temporary. I think we have a photograph of the canoeing.
Have we got that's the prize again? Oh, yes. Look, for goodness sake.
Last Thursday, we just happened to have a meeting. Well, actually, Tom was wanting to buy a canoe and wanted advice.
Yes.
And he phoned the leisure centre, as in the picture
yes.
Tom Johnson.
Yeah.
And so as in the, he phoned the leisure centre in Banbridge and said, anyone help me with canoes? I'm thinking of buying one, and they put him in touch with Dennis Rice.
Yes.
And
one of your people.
No.
Who's Dennis Rice?
Canoeist. Just a canoeist. It's a Banbridge Kayak and Canoe Club.
Yeah.
So we met with Dennis. Tom says, "Do you want to come down and meet this fellow?" I said, yes. And we just mentioned we had water in the top level. This was on Thursday.
Wow.
This is Sunday morning.
Look, that's moving. That's moving.
Oh yes.
But I think the kayaks. I would be less enthusiastic. I love them, but I'm more enthusiastic for the open canoe in the foreground for canal work, or for the currach at the back there, you see, would be wonderful.
Yes.
But I like the open because the open can carry within it easily another passenger. It can carry victuals for the day. You're fishing, whatever you're going to do, you know.
Yes, but the kayaks are easy to manoeuvre, and I thought they'd have trouble. You know the way the paddles go out the side?
Yes.
I thought I might have trouble because there is a lot of weed still in the canal. And but no, they had no trouble at all. And funny enough, the only ones who did have trouble were the currachs, because they have to do like this at the front end, and the weed actually stopped them from moving, or the boat turned rather than the paddle going through the water.
And years ago, Mick Waddle of Portadown of Points Pass, God rest him, Mick told me the story of the magical tree. There's Geraldine on the waterway. It's coming there. There it is. Look at that.
Hold
that for a moment.
Never been in a kayak in her life.
Well, now, you know, that woman has been with you across the oceans of the world.
Oh, yes.
So a kayak on the Newry Canal isn't going to phase her in any sense. But Mick Waddle told me the story of the magical tree of the Newry Canal. Now, Mick was brought up at Waddle's Lock there on the canal, and his playpen was a tea chest.
That's right,
that the
yes.
mum would put him into as a boy, and he would put himself up and he'd look as best he could to see the barges passing by.
Aye.
So he told me the story on a radio documentary of the magical tree. This tree moved up and down the canal. It's just a bush.
Oh, right.
Tiny sapling up and down the canal. And it was only after some months, maybe a year, that it was found out what it was all about. Some fellow had been out with a gun, a shotgun, had been using haws as the shot rather than that.
Oh,
Don't quite know what he was doing it for. But whatever happened, the shot went down into the water, and one of the haws impregnated the back of a pike. And the pike, and it started to grow in the back of the pike, and the pike moved up and down the canal. Now, I'm sure it's apocryphal. I'm sure it's not. That's Banbridge, isn't it?
No, Scarva.
That's Scarva.
Yeah,
that's what
yes,
it meant
the
to
wooden
say.
bridge.
And that's the centre at the back behind it. We see the white
yes,
outreach.
Yes. And they have a bicycle hire business going there now.
For the towpath.
Yes, for the towpath.
John Donnelly, smile in heaven, because this is what we dreamed about. And if we have been unable to bring the reopening, we're reopening it in tiny whispers, courtesy of the Newry and Portadown branch of the Inland Waterways Association of Ireland. They must be very proud of you in Dublin.
They are indeed. In fact, they've just produced a book which we'll bring in the next time, a history of the IWAI. It's 60 years since the association started, 1954. And yes, well, the Newry Canal gets a good write-up in it about the amount of work that we are doing on it. You know. Yeah. But this is the number of this is all the whole crowd of all the kayaks and canoes we had out on that Sunday. You know, it was a marvellous thing to see. I mean, it was a super day as well.
You can understand why I prefer the open canoe, can you?
Oh yes. Oh, I thought they actually wouldn't be able to use kayaks properly on it, but they managed all right. They got about 3 miles of it covered.
Yeah, excellent.
And the thing now is we're dismantling the dams because they've served their purpose. There was no flooding.
We know.
So we're starting.
And is that well recorded in the annals of the authorities?
Oh yes. The Rivers Agency are more than happy with it all.
Yeah, that's good.
And now we've been offered some funding towards gates.
Wonderful.
But what we had to do is we have to go to the Environment Agency, because it's an ancient monument, to get the right style of gates, what they'll approve. Really, and there's no point in proceeding any further till we get a decision from them. We want the cheapest option. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. They might want something more expensive.
Well, sure. Look at that. Yes. It's good. It's good.
Oh, it's marvelous. And the weed was already dying. Once we put the water in, it's only been in there for less than 2 weeks at that time. And the water level, the weeds are already dying away.
The ducks of the new Newry Canal. There you are. There was tail to nose. There
was 3 feet. 3 feet of water in that. It was pretty well consistent all the way along. It was only the weeds that stopped them from going a lot further.
Absolutely. Yeah. Have we another picture there, dear boy? Again, that duckweed is wonderful stuff.
Yes.
People don't know this. They think that's dirty. It's not.
Well,
well, I'll tell you what I used to do with that in the broad swathe of the open ship canal in summertime when it was maybe not summertime. It would have been maybe when the water was crystal. That was close to winter time. But I would take a swathe, a little drop I would scoop up a sieve of it, and I would wash it.
Yes.
All right. I would then put it in a pot with chopped up onion, with a stock cube, and I would have the most wonderful soup.
Oh, yes.
And it worked. It was lovely.
I've never tried that.
Because you see, that's not a carpet. That's not a solid carpet of weed, as you know. That's little nodules, like half
tiny
peas.
things. Yes, is this
when you bite?
This is a wise thing to be advising the public to do.
Oh, I'm not. They can do what they want to do. But I mean, if you bite on the nodule, it's like a split pea. It's lovely.
Oh, right,
absolutely gorgeous.
I must give that a try.
Give it a try.
But I'll read it up first of all.
The other thing we used to do, we introduced ducks to the canal for the first time. There were no ducks on it. Yes. And we got it, for whatever reason there were no ducks on it, and we took a load of ducks, raised them in my greenhouse up in Daisy Hill, and brought them to the canal. And anyway, they would lay eggs, and Donnelly and I would go down on the Saturday morning, and we'd look down through the clear water, and we'd see the egg in the mud. And the egg had been laid by the duck during the week. We had a pole, a 7 feet long pole, with a bean can on the end of it. We'd pick up the egg, take it up, and if there was no mud mark on it, we'd know it was reasonably fresh. Take it out, break it, and have it in the pan. They were great
Oh,
times.
good.
Great times. Yeah. Peter, have we more photographs, sir, please? Look, this is all good. This is Newry. Newry's there in the background.
No, that's still Scarva. That's a new development in Scarva. You probably haven't been there since that development was put up.
No, I have to say. But look at the wonderful towpath.
Yeah,
great stuff.
But all these are all in Scarva because that's the section we have filled.
Yeah.
You know, now obviously we have water in the Newry section at the moment.
Yeah.
And we're still negotiating with the Lochs agency to get permission to remove some more silt from it.
We're on the up.
Oh yes, we definitely are. There's no doubt about that. As long as we can get the right permission from the Environment Agency to get these gates on that.
Have we
section.
these politician fellows batting for us?
Yes, we do have. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But they always, I mean, we got offers of help from the Department of Culture, Arts and Leisure, and to help us do a business plan. But to be quite truthful, I mean, I sat in the meeting and it just got more and more complicated. And as I said, half jokingly, that really it's for the amount of effort we put in, I'd rather tear up the bits of paper and build the bloody lock gates myself.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
Because it's less work in building the lock gates yourself than it is in filling out the paper.
Yeah, but should it not be a function of government? This is to match up voluntary effort with professional effort from the institution, and they recognise the good that you're doing in the community voluntarily by equally contributing the clerical backup that you need for business plans.
Well, yes, but you see, you've just summed it all up there. Do they not know what we're doing in the community? Can they not see it? But no, that's not sufficient. You have to fill out a form saying what you're doing, saying that there have so many people of different age groups, so many people from different communities, so many people from deprived backgrounds, so many people from ethnic minorities, and you have to promise to increase those numbers before they'll give you any money.
That's for somebody else to do.
That's
you just open your
arms.
What you do is you open your arms and you welcome all of these people.
Yes.
And you say, come.
That's what we do, yes.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
And these people, oh my goodness. Anyway, we're going to be okay. But you'll come back next week to me, will you?
Oh, somebody will anyway.
Yeah,
you know, maybe I could try and get somebody else. You must be fed up with seeing me.
No, you make good sense, you talk good sense, and you're always welcome. This, my dear boy, is your studio, always. Take care.
Peter
Maxwell.
Maxwell.
Thank you very much indeed.